My life, it's hard for me to describe how much I love you. Heaven forbids, if something happens, take care of the children. We're okay, and I'll take care of myself. I promise. Take care of our kids and treat them as best as possible. My love, I was shot. I really hope I'll come home alive. Do me a favor. I love you and the kids. Just take care of them.
Mortars were fired at us. I was in the guard post. We were hit directly at the post. We were supposed to enter Gaza at 4 p.m. At 1:45, a barrage of 20 mortar shells was fired at us in 5 seconds. As soon as I came to enter the shelter, the mortar shell had already fallen inside the tent, and I was outside the tent and flew out of the blast. A missile hit our house at 10 p.m. We were all awake, and a pretty big piece of shrapnel entered my leg and hurt my internal organs. I found a tunnel shaft, and a terrorist came out and fired an anti-tank missile at me. I was burned in my face and the palms of my hands. I thought this was the end. When I got the news on the radio that the missile was aimed at me, the terrorist missed by 1.5 meters. My entire vehicle began to catch fire while I was trapped inside. We were hit by an anti-tank missile at our armored vehicle, and after a few seconds, I heard another boom. I lost my hearing and vision for a few moments, and when my vision returned, I saw that I was covered in blood, all my legs, everywhere. 5 terrorists entered our city, infiltrated the neighborhood, murdered 28 residents from our area, our street and neighborhood where I live. Then they broke into my house and took my parents hostage for 20 hours. And what's surprising about this story is that I, as a resident of Ofakim, a police officer, I arrived to the scene and I find myself negotiating with terrorists for my parents.
To be a mother in Israel is to know from the day they are born that the moment will come and they will join the army. It's to hope in your heart that they won't want to be combat soldiers. And then, when the moment comes and they say to you, "Mom, I decided to become a combat soldier," it is to be in an internal struggle with yourself. On one hand, to praise them for their decision and desire and courage and their commitment to the state. On the other hand, to live in fear that something will happen to them.
I called my father and asked him, "Hey, Dad, how's it going?" First of all, I'm fine. Secondly, I'm in the hospital. I was shot.
A terrorist came and sprayed me and my squad at point-blank range. I got shot in the knee and bullet fragments. I was hit in the ankle. A bullet went into my bone, crushed my bone. I had a body camera on my chest. That camera pushed the bullet away, which means I had an opening, and that's what saved me. I was shot 3 times. One in the thigh, one in the knee, and one in the back. I was rescued with a bullet in the thigh, with a bullet in the pelvis. I can't remember when my injury happened because I was unconscious. I had situations where I hid, but I realized that I had no choice. I had to stand up and be strong enough to protect them. I didn't have a single bullet left in my weapon after I killed 2 terrorists who were in front of me. I'm carrying a weapon, and the survivors are shouting at me, "But why don't you shoot? Don't worry, I know what I'm doing." And I don't have a single bullet in my barrel. We are trapped in the operations room. Outside there are terrorists. We are 6 people in the operations room, only 2 weapons. And wait for help.
We see the terrorists running and shooting in every direction. A few seconds later, a grenade was thrown at us. It reached right at our feet, right between us. At this moment, you don't think too much. You say Shema Yisrael, and that's it. You're sure you're gonna die.
Lots of mess, and you don't understand where it's coming from. Trying to find cover, to respond. I started jumping because I couldn't step on my leg. Looking for where I could take cover, do something. All around is a mess of shouting and screaming. Each of us has also had gunshot wounds. After about 10 minutes of the adrenaline drop-in, I collapsed at the central station. And that's it. I was wounded by 4 shots.
I was wounded by 4 bullets. They left 1 bullet inside, still inside me as a souvenir. It's like you're a baby who needs to be cared for, to be with you all day, to feed you, to take care of you, to clean you. I'd rather go to fight in Gaza 50 times and not go through something like this. The injury changed me on extreme levels. Fire started to break out there. What should I do? What should I do? Get out. Don't get out because they'll shoot you. Stay inside. If you get out, you'll be burned. That's how I was for 35 minutes. I was in the leading force, me and an officer and a Bedouin tracker who started crying and praying to his God. And he started pouring water on me. A 40-liter can. He pours water on me, I pour on him. He pours on me, I pour on him. Pour on me, pour on him. It was crazy. You open your eyes, you don't see anything. You try to get up because you think you're under attack. You realize that you can't get up because your leg is not working. I look down and I see that my hand is out of place. I scream and quickly a friend comes, takes off his shirt and puts a tourniquet on my hand.
The policewoman and I get into the car together, and then I get hit by a bullet in the shoulder. She sees the terrorists and makes a U-turn, and then I get hit by another bullet to the thigh through the car. We get stuck in the field, unload the car and run. And hiding under the bush. We sat in that bush for 4 hours, while there were terrorists behind us, gunshots, and in this time I'm losing blood. Then I sent my husband a voice message, and eventually he arrived and saved me.
Thank God I wasn't physically injured, even though they did shoot at me and in my direction, even though they threw a grenade at me and it didn't explode, but mostly to see my house smashed and punctured by gunfire. Friends, officers, police officers who died there. And the most famous picture is that I'm standing at the door and I see a terrorist strangling my mother and holding a grenade to her head. That's my injury.
I received text messages from survivors. Hey, we thought you were dead, but you're alive. We wanted to say thank you. Thanks to you, I'm alive. Thanks to you, I'm with my children. Thanks for saving my son. He's in a psychiatric hospital, but he was talking about a red-haired cop. I hope it's you because I don't think there's anyone else. I'd love to meet you. Message after message after message that gave me air to breathe.